First of all, I know Drake personally. I called him this morning. I said, Drake, you need to shoot the fair one with Kendrick. The fade must happen, preferably celebrity boxing match style, and you need to win. He replied back to me. He said, why go out in there, boy, over there? Boom, boy. I said, Drake, you Jamaican now? What the fuck? But anyway, Drake, this has been going on for like over a year between the diss tracks, and then well over a year that the beef was brewing. And it's kind of still getting talked about like it's fresh off the shelf at the grocery store. It's crazy. Let me remind y'all about something very important. It's very easy to think that the things that Drake and his team are doing are because it was like, oh my God, Kendrick said all of this crazy stuff about me and I lost this rap battle, so I'm gonna get back at him and whoever and save my image by suing people. No, it's easy to think that, but it's not that. Now, emotions wise, if it is that and Drake is just hiding that behind what he's doing, then okay. But as far as what's documented, this is basically about Kendrick potentially having unfair help in the rap battle with Drake. If it was strictly about the dissing and losing the rap battle alone, then, well, even though Not Like Us is the most powerful song out of the bunch, all of Kendrick's other songs would be documented. They would be mentioned in documentation. And keep in mind, like, I haven't seen the full documentation as far as what's going on. I've seen like the major parts of it, and maybe the other songs are mentioned in some capacity here and there. But as far as what gets out to the people, to me, to you watching, to everybody on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all of that, where we see parts of the paperwork and people describing the paperwork, we would see all of the songs next to each other rather than we keep seeing Not Like Us. So like if it was just about the dissing, the paperwork would look entirely different and like the claims possibly would look different. That's just me being fair, and I'm going to continue to be fair. But I do want to look at the end result. I want to look at the end goal for Drake and his team. Like, what are they looking for, right? I know one thing that it seems to be is money. And then I know another thing seems to be repairing his public perception and public reputation, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if they did come out and they were like, yeah, Drake and his team were absolutely right. Kendrick had an unfair push that made the rap battle and Not Like Us a lot worse for Drake than it should have been. I'm like, would that do enough? I know that it would do a lot if that came out, but the a lot that it would do, I don't think is enough. And one of the biggest reasons I say that is because Not Like Us on its own as a song is powerful no matter what. When I first listened to Not Like Us, and it's crazy because when I first listened to it, I didn't like it as much as I do now. And that's not me saying I thought it was bad or anything like that, or I thought it was mid. I just didn't have the true appreciation for it that I have for it now and the ear for it. I got everything he was saying. I got the references. I didn't miss nothing. Nothing went over my head. It's just over time I grew to appreciate it more. It grew on me, right? But when I first listened to it, I was like, bro, Kendrick just styled on him after he already wowed on him. So as far as the push just makes the whole thing worse. But Not Like Us on its own and the whole battle on its own was already bad for Drake. So, I mean, if it does get proven that Kendrick had a push that was unfair, I can understand where Drake is coming from with trying to expose that. And, it would put a bit of an asterisk on Kendrick's run as far as the disses and Not Like Us, but it wouldn't be nothing crazy. It would be less, I'm trying to think. It might be less crazy. Yeah, I think it would be less crazy than, I don't know. I'm about to say the whole Kevin Durant thing with Golden State. I don't know if it would be less, more, or equal. Maybe equal, but very different regardless. That's what I'm trying to say. It'd kind of be like that because when Kevin Durant got added to the Warriors, that made the Warriors unstoppable. And Kevin Durant, there's an asterisk on his 2 championships. And I mean, on Steph too. But at the same time, Kevin Durant was dominating. He was in a system that allowed him to really dominate at a 10 out of 10 level, but he was dominating. He was going crazy. He was the best player on the team. So you gotta talk about both of those things. A lot of people, when they talk about that, not to get off topic, first of all, they're saying the Warriors with KD, but a lot of people do put that respect on Kevin Durant's name, even with the disrespect, by saying he was dominating and balling out. So it's like Kendrick was dominating this whole run, even with Drake having push-ups and Family Matters. So if there was a system for him to prosper in, it would be an asterisk, yeah. But he was going crazy already without any push. No push was necessary. The push just made it worse for Drake. And that is why Drake and Kendrick Lamar should fight in a sanctioned celebrity boxing match. And since it was my idea, I need about $1 million as commission. And I will see y'all on the next video. Subscribe, like, and comment.